McLean. Dick Coach's Corner.
You're listening to the Rugby Coaches Corner podcast with your host, Andy Plimer.
For someone to explain.
Bringing you up-to-date coaching concepts from the world of rugby. Sharing ideas to make the game better.
Hi everyone, thanks again for listening in and really hope you enjoy this show. Just wanted to let you know that this episode is being brought to you by PSA Academies. They run the Tignes Rugby Academy in France, and it runs between July 9 and August 2nd in 2017. So if you're a parent or a coach of a 10 to 18-year-old player, boy or girl, and you think they'd like to experience a truly high-performance rugby development environment with international level coaching, elite training facilities, world-class partners and cutting-edge sports tech, then they're definitely worth looking into. They'll also be offering for coaches a coaching development program in Tignes for week 3 of the Rugby Academy. And those dates are between July 23 and 30. And it's an opportunity for up-and-coming coaches to work with elite coaches to develop their abilities and in the process earn coaching qualifications in an elite high-performance training environment. For all registration and contact details, you can check them out via psaacademies.com. And as always, I'll put that information in the show notes. So for now, just sit back and enjoy episode number 40 with Philippe Saint-André. Okay, welcome to episode number 40 of the Rugby Coaches Corner podcast. I'm your host, Andy Plimer, and joining me today is Philippe Saint-André. Philippe is a former national player for France and earned 69 caps between 1990 and 97. After retiring, Philippe went into coaching, starting at Gloucester, who he played professionally for, and then moved to Sale, where they won the Challenge Cup and Premiership title, after which he returned to France to lead Toulon for 2 years. After that, he took on the French national coaching role until 2015 Rugby World Cup. He now spends a lot of his time heading up PSA Academies, which the Tignes Rugby Academy in France is part of. And it's a pleasure to have you on the show, Philippe. So bonjour et bienvenue.
Yeah, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
Nice to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you. You too. So, what's a bit of a backstory about how you went from being a player to becoming a coach?
Well, but when I was a player and also I was a captain of my team, the French team or in the club in the end, you are all the time involved about the strategy and you need a good connection with your coach and to have a good communication and things also about what's happened on the pitch. So in the end of my career, I started to be involved a little bit with backs coach about move, about skills, and after I had the opportunity to start in Gloucester, a backs coach, after a coach, and after a director of rugby, and I came from old school rugby, or rugby was amateur, and after realize and I can carry on my passion and also to be my job. So it was a fantastic feeling. And also about my university, I did sports and science in France. So it was also some things was the name.
Okay, great. And you had some really good success with Sale, especially in the earlier stages of your coaching. What was the kind of backstory there? How did that develop as a club?
But to be honest, I did Gloucester for a few years, and we put the team in the top of the English League, second in the English League, semi-final of the Heineken Cup. After I moved 2 years in Bourgoin in France, also we were successful. And after I arrived to Sale, and I was lucky also to arrive with a great generation of player like Coeto, Jason Robinson, Charlie Oxon, Wigglesworth, Ben Foden was young, and I bring a little bit of player like Chabal, Lobe, and we had a fantastic team spirit, some fantastic player, me, I enjoy, of course, to coaching, and we did 5 years and 2 years very, very successful with on the Shield. We won the Guinness Premiership, and he was great, you know.
Yeah, no, it sounds excellent. And what in those early experiences with Gloucester and Sale, what were probably some of the big lessons that you learned?
I think you know what it was important. It was in England, and I came from France, so it was a different vision, you know. And when you go to England, and also you coach, when I coach Sale or Toulon, you have 16 or 18 different nationality, so you must be very open mind about, of course, the way how to win, but also the way how to develop players and to motivate players, because you don't motivate a Samoa players like you motivate an English player or a French players. And also, you know, it was, and it's what it is now. Like a director of rugby, you are like a boss of a company, because you have nearly 18 people in your staff, between fitness coach, physio, doctor, osteopath, video analysis, coach of the line-out, forwards coach, and everything. So you need just to mix with people and try to take the best of everybody. What I say all the time is we need to give the key to the players to be a better players, and it's matter when you're doing this type of job, you know.
Okay, and then after your experience in England, you went on to Toulon and then coaching the French national team. I think the French national team's a difficult job, or I think any national coach would be difficult. What were some of the unique challenges you faced?
The French coach is complex. Is very difficult. It's very difficult because So I came back to Toulon, and I had the opportunity, or the club was just in the starting of the club what it is now. And, I put the structure, the organization. It was no gym. I create also a place to eat for the players to be like family, and to manage the diet of the people. And the first year we finished semi-final of the league and the final of the European competitions. And the year before they were just one over the bottom, so it was quite very good. And after, I had the opportunity to be the French coach. And when you play 69 times for the French team, when you were 10 for 34 times, and when they came and proposed me the job, I knew it will be quite tough, but it was difficult for me to say no, because the rugby and the French team gave me everything. You know, I traveled from everywhere in the world. I realized so many dreams about the French teams, and I say yes. But after, it was quite a big challenge, because the top 14 was so strong. It was like coaching. The top 14 is like the English league in soccer, you know. So the power are in the club. It's a lot of money, a lot of overseas players. And the problem with to be coach of the French team, it was the access with players. When in New Zealand, the guys are all the time with the All Black, or in England, or they have 2 weeks before a competition, they are together. I never had the access of the player. I have just the player 5 days or 6 days before the test in November.
Wow.
5 days before the Six Nations. Also, between the Six Nations, the guys was coming back to play for their club.
That's
in the
right,
middle.
yeah.
So it was quite complicated when you compete against the best team in the world, and their process and their system are all focused about their national team, their international team, and us, all the system is focused about the club. It's very, very complicated to compete in this industry, you know.
Yeah, so that must have had an influence over what kind of style of rugby you wanted to play. How did you go about looking at the challenges, and then what that was going to transfer like to the style of rugby.
But the challenge when you arrive, you dream, and when you are coach your country, you want see the French flair be back. You want play a very open games with a lot of flair and everything. But when I arrived, he was so many overseas players in the best team. Like Toulon was a French champion. Few years after, with just 2 French players on the starting 15. I realized that our strength and no lot of players was third choice in their club, and because it was a lot of old players retired, like Yashvili, like Shabal, Nale, and everything. So I need to create a new generation of players, and I started to pick some young players, and some was not third choice in their club, but it was the way for them to bring them to get the experience. And to be honest, it was a fantastic experience. It was tough, it was difficult, but it was about coaching. It was a new challenge, and it was very challenging.
And so, what were some of the things you did off the field to take away the pressure that you would have felt as the national coach? Were there any specific techniques that you used?
What it was difficult for me, it's because I coaching before for 14 years before I take over the French coach, and before I was just coaching the club, and I have the players next to me for 11 months a year. And this French coach, you have just the guys 70 days a year, or maybe 80 days a year, and you need with them to try to create a spirit, a system, one philosophy, but with the top 14 so long, and the guys was playing 40 games years, the turnover was also time huge. In 2012 we started to beat 3 times in November Australia, Argentina, Samoa, and I say we have a good foundation and everything. And 5-6 months after, half of the guys was or exhausted or knackered or injury, and so you needed all the time to starting from the scratch. And this was a difficult challenge, and you can realize. And 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, Bernard Laporte, the new chairman of the French Federation, says that French rugby are in trouble, and we didn't make the right decision politically for the last 15 years, and now he's looking to propose a federation contract. For 40 of the best players. They want that the player are in contract with the French Federation, because to compete against the best team in the world, you need access of the players. And when you don't have access, you don't control their skills, you don't control their fitness, you don't control anything. And the top 14 is so strong and so long, because he start end of July with a friendly game, and he finish in June with a final. So imagine how long it is, and all forgot that rugby it's a physical game. It's not. You don't ask to a boxer to have 55 during the years. And our players for the last 7-8 years, they were playing 40 games here.
That's unreal. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, and that probably leads me to my next question with the French team now. I've thought for a long time that France will be the next, or should be the next European team to win the World Cup. What do you think needs to happen for that to be a reality? And obviously what Laporte has done is huge, that centralised contracts, and also the Six Nations this year, the first time ever that the players didn't go back to the clubs. Do you think there's other areas that need to be addressed?
Yeah, we need, and it's for this also that I open an academy of PSA Academy, because I think we need to invest a lot about our young players and about the development of the young players and about the skills, but also the spirits and the view of rugby, what it is. And I think the worst thing was that the last 10 years, our league was so strong and the TV right was so strong that we just invest this money about the best player in the world was retiring and coming to play in French rugby. And we were completely, it was good for business and for entertainment and for the crowd, but we didn't put enough resource and enough money about development of our academy, about development of our young players, about coaching and coach, because rugby grows so quickly in Europe, and the good coach started to coach in top 14 or second division or federal one because also it's money. But in the youth club, in the under 15, under 12, under 9, very often he was parents of children, but never had played rugby in their life, So they arrive when they are 16, 17, and their development, their skills, their understanding of the game are not at the levels and we had before in French rugby.
And that makes sense, like once they get to that national team, the national coach can't really do much if the person can't pass off their left hand.
Yeah, it's quite difficult when you say, okay, I want to do a move, and I have a story like this. I will not say the name of the fly half, but I was lucky to coach fantastic fly half in the club, Johnny Wilkinson, Charlie Oxton, and a lot of good fly half. And when I arrived in the French team, I say, okay, for the kickoff, no, it's finished. It's new rugby, so we don't kick long kick on the 22 meters, but we'll kick very, very high and very short in the middle of the pitch, and we put our two best back row very good on high ball to compete, because the kickoff, it's a 50-50 and we need to have the ball back. And the first two kickoff, the ball didn't do 10 meters and he was firm in the middle of the pitch. So after you say, okay, the week after you say, first you need to practice and you need to improve. But I say, okay, so this game you will kick far away because we couldn't technically do the things right. And I think it's why New Zealand are so good. I think the skills and the level of understanding the game of all the players are outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Okay, and what about you coaching? What's your favourite part of the game to coach?
Because I coached for 18 years, I try to coach a little bit everything. After I am a former winger, so I didn't coach the scrum, but I will say that I enjoy to coach the attack. I enjoy to coach the turnover. I enjoy to coach also the strategy of kicking, or very, very often what I like it's when you do the analyze video about one team to identify 2 or 3 weaknesses, and try to put in place a few phase or few strategy to beat the weakness of this team, But I have also the experience sometimes to coach the defense, because also when you work with different team, with different coaching and everything, your job is to try to optimize the potential of the guys work with you, And so it's good because you learn all the time and you put your mind, you have a big open mind, and a vision different. So, but I will say that I like to the best is to coach the attacking way and also to identify some weakness in some team and try to put a game plan together to win this game. And when it doesn't work, you feel very bad. But I remember some games, or in international, but more in clubs, and you put a strategy in place and it works very well. And the things you work on the week and say, look, after 2 phases, we'll have a quick guys in front of a prop because the defense like this, and it will be a mismatch, and he works on the pitch like he works during the game like he worked on the week in training, and this is a very, very satisfying things when you are a coach,
Absolutely. And if you're say coaching attack, how would you do it? Do you play a lot of games at practice?
Yeah, a lot of skills, because this is very, very important. After this type of rugby, you need a quick ball. So I think also the body position, the presentation of the ball, and the quality of the ruck must be very important. And after also about the potential of the players, because now if you have some players can offload and can pass during the traffic and pass after to be tackled or behind the shoulder of one guy, it's very, very, it's much more easy, I coach in Toulon Sonny B. Williams, and to be honest, I was a better coach in attack when Sonny B. Williams was playing.
Wouldn't we all be?
Also, you need also, I think you can do a lot of things about the philosophia and bring a philosophia to your team. But after, by experience, it's much better when you have great players than when you have average players.
Yeah. You just announced recently. This is pretty cool. You announced a couple of days ago that you're going to volunteer as head coach for Cameroon for a 2-week preparation period for the Africa's Cup. That's pretty cool. And how did that come about? And how do you think you're going to approach that 2 weeks?
But it's like rugby. I think rugby, it's about people you meet and people you know, and the new manager, director of the Federation of Cameroon, he was one guy did this rugby with my first club, Roman, and we keep contact all the life. And a few weeks ago, he rang me and he sent me a message and said, I need your help because I want, what's the name, build new things in Cameroon. And I say, okay, I am keen to do it for the Coupe Africa because it's just 13 days and it's the 20 years of the anniversary of their federation. But also, it's they have some great players. They have some great players in Cameroon, but they have between 18 and 20 players playing in France, top 14, so Division, Federal 1, Federal 2. So my first job is to contact all these guys, and to be honest, they are very exciting and very keen to represent their country, to represent their soul. In their sports, So first, it will be to bring back the more players from good quality from France. After, to identify more backs, because Cameroon they have a lot of props, they have a lot of luck, lot of guys with strengths,
Yeah.
But I find few backs and everything, and after. We'll have not too much time before the first game because I think we'll meet the Tuesday night for the first game the Saturday. Wow. But after the second game against Algeria will be the week after. So we'll have 10 days, 12 days. So it will be a very challenging but a very exciting things to bring guys passionate to represent their country and to try to put a team together in in few days. So the key of my job at the moment is that everybody are exciting about this challenge, and that all the best players playing in professional club at the moment, keen to come to represent their country for the Coupe d'Afrique des Nations.
Oh, that's great.
The CAN.
Yeah.
So it's and it's like rugby. It's guys was grow up like me in the same club. We came from the same culture, and 30, 40 years after, he contact me, he say, I need help, and rugby, it's also, I think, the beauty of this sport is this, it's that you are, it's a fantastic sport, but you are nothing in your own, you need the 14 guys around you, or now we play with 23, so if you win, it's because the 23 guys do the job during 80 minutes, and if you lost, because the other team was better, but it's a very, very collective sport.
Oh, great! Oh, well, looking forward to hearing about how the results go, and that's exciting. Okay, like I said in the introduction, you're spending a lot of time now on the PSA Academies, the Philippe Saint-André Academy. It's in Tignes in France. I did some Google images. It looks unbelievable. It looks like a beautiful place. Can you explain the academy a little bit, just in general?
Yes. So also because after my experience in 18 years in professional rugby, I think it was important also to in pastime and to involve about development, about young players. And I did the preparation of the World Cup in Tignes in area very, very fantastic with quality, pitch quality, and you can do 18 or 19 different activity. So my philosophy is just to put people from 10 to 18 years, and to maximize their potential, but also then they have experience in 1 week, then they train like a professional. So they have a GPS. They take lessons about dietitian, about stretching. We have a fitness coach, and also I wanted more about. I do this in France, but we have a mix of culture. So I have a South African coach, an Irish coach, a French coach, and the same of children. I have children from different nationality, and this we started last year, and it was a fantastic experience, and the children enjoy so much,
Oh, that's great. Oh, it sounds amazing. And for coaches, you've got the Tignes Rugby Academy coaching development course, July 23 to 30. What does that involve? Is that coaches looking to just go to that next level and get that new experience and develop themselves as a professional?
Yeah, exactly. Also, what we use these 3rd weeks, first we'll have still some children, but a little bit advanced children, 16 to 18 years, so we'll have good children from top 100 in France, or from academy to like last year it was academy from Northampton or Munster. And also it was my thought to say that also we need to have a time with different coach come from different area, to speak, to exchange, to go on the pitch with these children about what's the name technique, about how the rugby improve, because also we have a sports or the rules change completely, and for people who watch the game England-Italy and how Italy did with the ruck, I think the rules of the ruck will change very soon, because if not, our sport will be in danger. And also, I will use this week to bring by the people I know a lot of different coach, high quality. Then they will do what's the name, like a day, or they will explain the experience, what they do, also specialists of Scrum. I will have probably Yannick Bru, the forwards coach of the French team, also to explain how they work with GPS or with the new technology or the relation with referee and everything. And I feel also that when you have a lot of coach mixed together, you just learn and speak and improve so much, and you come back with different view, different idea, and also our job is to give pleasure to our players. So we need all the time to learn new things, to do new training, and because if you do the same routine, at one time the players are bored and they don't learn as quick than they need to do.
No, I couldn't agree more. And that sounds like a wonderful professional development opportunity for coaches interested.
Also, the only thing is the last weeks with a lot of coach, I think it will be a lot of interesting things during the day, but la troisième mi-temps will be also interesting the night.
Well, that's where a lot of the learning goes. Cool. And you also offer packages for teams to come over, like for pre-season camps and things like that?
Exactly. Also, we do, and we started last year, and it works very well. A lot of for schools, one do a tour or a pre-season or university. Like last year, we have a Oxford camp for 10 days for preparation. So we have a lot of team, university and schools, can travel, and we are in charge to organize everything. And also if they want special coaching about rugby, but some come for netball, from hockey and everything. And also the resource, and we have different spots. We have team, but we have also other different spots near to Perpignan or near to Bordeaux, near to Spain and everything. And it's a good opportunity also for children to develop, to see a different environment, to see a different culture, a different language. And, me, I learned so much when I moved to finish my career in England, and it opened my mind so much. And I want carry on to give this and to propose this to the new generation.
Oh, that's great. And it sounds like a great way to start off a rugby season is to go to the French Alps, or just below the French Alps, and have a nice week of hard work. Okay, well, we always end the podcast with the same 4 questions. When you were a younger rugby player, who was one of the players that you really looked up to?
Yes, he was Kennedy, the captain of Ireland, Hooker and Doctor. And I was fascinated by him and by Jean-Pierre Rive, the back row of the French team.
All right.
So he was my 2 players.
All right, great. All right, and what about now? Who are some of the players that you like to watch?
To be honest, a lot of players I like to watch, but who I will say the best one, I like it to watch Audrey Skoll, but he retired, but he was amazing.
Brilliant.
It was amazing to see. At the moment, if I can see one player, Ben Smith.
Yeah, he's excellent. He would fit into a French team easily, the way he plays.
Yes, he's excellent. Yeah.
Great. Okay, and what about coaches? Who's a professional coach that you like how they run their teams?
I think it's a lot of good coaching, but to be honest, I know very well Eddie Jones and what he's doing with England. He's in 15 wins in a row. He didn't. No, 16 wins in a row for him coaching in a new. When you take a team over, I think he will be a Sir Eddie Jones very soon in England.
Yeah, absolutely. They're doing amazing things for sure. Okay, and then last question: who are some coaches that are not professional in terms of their salary, but who are doing really good work.
So many guys coach me when they were very young, like Francois and everything, and they still give the passion of rugby for young children. And very often, it's like in school, 1 year you like mathematics because the teacher is amazing. The year after, you don't like too much. And I think it rugby is the same, and when you get some great coach, when you are very, very young, you get this passion of rugby for the rest of your life. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you to my first and second coach when I was 5 years and 7 years, because they gave me the love of these sports for the rest of my life.
That's awesome, and that's a really good way to end the show. Thanks very much, Philippe, for giving up your time. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and I'm really enjoying watching the French team play in this Six Nations, and I'm sure you're enjoying their performance and also the competition in general. So really want to wish you all the best with PSA Academies. Look forward to hopefully bumping into you and talking rugby another time.
It will be a pleasure.
Okay, awesome. Thanks very much.
Thanks for listening to the Rugby Coaches Corner podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please leave a review via iTunes and keep listening for the next episode. You can also follow us on Twitter at RugbyCoachSCNR or via the website at therugbycoachescorner.com. Until next time, keep sharing ideas to make the game better.